Today you'll be learning about the Foreign Object Damage and Dropped Object Prevention programs, known as FOD and DOP. We will be reviewing the two types, non-preventable and preventable, along with the procedures for reporting and investigation. Consult with your FOD/DOP monitor for any local operating procedures. To begin, FOD is defined as any damage to an aircraft and its components or support equipment by foreign objects, which may or may not degrade safety and/or operational characteristics of the mentioned items. Non-preventable FOD is defined as damage caused by natural environment or wildlife, such as hail, ice, animals, and insects. Should the occurrence involve a bird strike, cleaning and reporting procedures can be found in Technical Order 1-1-691 and Air Force Manual 91-223, or any other applicable references. Additionally, common non-preventable FOD occurrences include items found during depot overhaul, engine or airframe damage caused by ricochets over a range, unimproved runway landings, or damage inflicted by rocks, stones, wood, or other objects while hovering. Also, if internal engine material or aircraft components fail and cause damage, deficiency reports will be generated for the defective products. All other FOD is considered preventable. Units working in, on, or around aircraft, flight line, munitions, aerospace ground equipment, also known as AGE, engines or components will comply with the following FOD prevention standards, including following proper anti-ice and de-icing procedures during inclement weather. While performing maintenance, all ports, lines, hoses, electrical connectors, and ducts must be properly capped or plugged. Remove all metal identification bands on tubing and cables, except on egress systems, cargo chains, and hydraulic hoses. When removing hydraulic tubing tags, ensure the lines are marked in accordance with Technical Order 42E1-1-1 or any other applicable references. Ground wire screws will be coated with sealant, and unused screws will be removed. Control work order residue used on or around aircraft, uninstalled engines, and AGE. Support personnel must discard removable pocket clips from tools prior to placing in toolkits. On the flight line, adhere to all clothing policies, such as restricted area badges having non-metallic cords or plastic armbands. Keep in mind that wearing metal insignias and badges, hair accessories, and jewelry is not authorized. Escorts of visiting personnel will ensure all FOD prevention measures are implemented. Technicians will remove restricted area badges and empty their pockets prior to intake, inlet, and exhaust inspections. Wear a pocketless, zipperless, buttonless bunny suit with overbooties or stocking feet. A mat may be used in place of overbooties. When wearing chem gear, account for all necessary tape on zippers and remove accessories prior to intake inspections. During exercises, remove chem gear and utilize a bunny suit. Sufficient illuminated light sources must be used during intake and exhaust inspections. Items will not be placed in engine intakes unless relating to inlet maintenance, inspections, or blade blending. Clean up jet blast areas and helicopter pads of debris prior to engine runs or helicopter hovers. All -21 covers will remain installed as close to crew show as possible. Examples: FOD strips in the cockpit, pitot tube, engine, exhaust, and ejection seat covers. Ensure engine run screens and anti-personnel guards are used properly. Install barrier paper, intake plugs, and tape prior to engine intake maintenance. For inaccessible areas, use X-rays, borescopes, or other equipment to locate FOs. Ensure flight deck or crew station FO inspections are completed before and after flight. Account for all tools, rags, and equipment. Account for and secure all -21 equipment. The weapons expediter must account for and secure all weapons-specific safing gear. Maintenance production areas will have FO containers readily available. All vehicles will have FO containers labeled accordingly, secured, and with a lid. All vehicles are required to stop and perform visual FOD inspections prior to entering flight line areas, unless waived by the Vice Wing Commander. A locally manufactured tool is authorized for removing debris from tire treads and will be identified to each vehicle. If vehicles use magnetic bars on the flight line, they will be inspected and cleaned daily. FOD walks are mandatory to ensure FO are removed from ramps, runways, maintenance areas, and access roads. To aid in FOD reduction, the use of mechanical and vacuum sweepers are encouraged to remove undetected debris. Another area of specific importance is grounding points, which are particularly susceptible to FO. They will be kept clean of debris at all times. Now that we have discussed the two categories of FOD, let's move on to the FOD investigation and reporting procedure. In the event of a lost tool or lost item in the flight deck or crew station, ensure pilots or air crew fill out the Air Force Technical Order Form 781A or applicable documentation. If an FO damages the engine blades, follow applicable tech data for blade blending and report according to MAJCOM criteria. Once suspected or confirmed FOD is discovered, notify the Maintenance Operations Center immediately, who will in turn notify the Wing FOD Monitor. Prior to returning engines and modules to the depot for investigation, units must make every attempt to determine the root cause of FOD-related mishaps. An information deficiency report will be completed and forwarded to depots for FOD mishap engines. Ensure the container is properly marked and packaged. The Wing FOD Monitor will provide the initial FOD investigation report and any follow-up reporting required until closeout. Note that preventable FOD over $50,000 is chargeable to the FOD rate. In the event of questionable FOD issues, contact your local FOD monitor for assistance. Next, we will be discussing the Dropped Object Prevention Program. A dropped object is defined as any aircraft part, component, surface, LO coating exceeding 8 inches in any dimension, or other item lost during aircrew operations, unless intentionally jettisoned, from engine start to engine shutdown. Inadvertently released munitions are not considered dropped objects and will be reported in accordance with AFI 91-204. Note, missing chaff, flare, and decoy end caps are not reportable dropped objects. Dropped objects can be prevented by performing proper maintenance, thorough pre- and post-flight inspections, weapons post-load inspections, and adhering to technical data. Following technical data can reduce known factors that have been attributed to dropped object incidences, such as loose, corroded, or improperly installed fasteners, such as bolts, screws, rivets, and cotter pins. Although some items are preventable, non-preventable dropped objects could include material or design deficiencies and will require a deficiency report to be submitted in accordance with Technical Order 00-35D-54 or any other applicable references. When a dropped object has been identified, the unit will initiate a FOD walk and follow specific MAJCOM DOP program reporting procedures. Appointed by the Vice Wing Commander, the DOP monitor will initiate an investigation to determine the precise cause and the required corrective measures for each dropped object incident. The findings from each investigation will be compiled into a formal report. When the investigation involves transient aircraft, the host wing DOP monitor will provide the home station with data to generate the required report. The final report will be sent to the appropriate work centers and will be incorporated into the unit training and education programs. The FOD and DOP programs are everyone's responsibility. It is imperative to ensure that proper maintenance procedures and preventative measures are taken to ensure the safety of our people and our aircraft. By following the various steps seen in this video, you will help maintain the success of these programs and the integrity of our Air Force.